Hello, starseeds and sensitives. I want to talk about what we're experiencing while we're going through this evolution and change and dealing with COVID and the jab and um, all of the things that are coming up right now that are challenges. All of the things that are happening around the world, challenges, whether it has to do with Gaia or humanity. And I want to recognize that this is a really hard time for sensitives and starseeds because of our ability to be empathic, to feel what's going on with others around us, to feel that collective sense of fear or angst or anger and or confusion, and also to be connected and tuned in and feeling the different energies that are changing around us, whether it's solar rays or solar wind or astrological things that are happening or 5G or just the energy of our families and other people that are close to us. And the different arguments and our challenges that are coming up that can be very stressful, overwhelming, anxiety charged for us, and share some of the reasons why, what's happening. And then, I'd like to this be a continuing process where I'm sharing, we can get together on YouTube or on a Zoom, or on live here on Instagram or something, where we can talk about or what we're experiencing, because I'm really finding as a sensitive that I need my other sensitive community who is not locked into the collective consciousness. And I've always been the black sheep. I've always been the oddball. In lots of ways I recognize that this is nothing new for me, but it doesn't make it easier. And particularly when we're making decisions in life because from our sensitivity, from our wisdom, from our knowing, and I'll share where some of that comes from in a few minutes. But when we come from this inner knowing, when we come from this connection with Source or our higher selves, when we have this knowledge that we've collected our whole life, because that's what makes us sensitive, that's what makes us a starseed, is that we have this ability to take information and process it very deeply and store it away for another time when it's needed. And right now, all the stuff that's happening is calling us starseeds and sensitives to come out, to stand up, to speak up, to start, if you haven't already, but to step out there and to come to do what you're meant to do, right? Live your purpose. You're on mission, right? And that can be scary shit because, excuse my language, but because we've experienced things before where we either said something or stood out, and being different than the majority of people, we get shut down or comments and other things. May have been bullied as a child, etc. There's all different ways, traumatized in a lot of different ways as a young person, or even bringing something in from a past life that you remember that was traumatizing, that keeps you from really showing up in your mission and your living that purpose why you came here right now. But really, we're being called, and I find that it's really important to have my other friends, starseeds, that get this, that we can talk about it and we can support each other and say, oh my God, did you feel that energy? Are you feeling the energy? Are you zapped? Are you having to sleep? Are you revved? And, whatever it is, it just helps to know. I want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of us, but we're spread out because we're holding, holding different energies around the world. And there's a lot of work. All of this is showing up too. So we're really stepping into our higher energies. We're having to raise our vibrations, our frequencies. We're having to get out of the fear, let go of the density, and really step into opening our hearts and being in that way with all of humanity and what's happening in a very empowering, energetic way that is helping humanity, helping to heal and grow, and helping all those around you, helping create the shift. So I'm just going to go over really quickly, because if you don't know if you're a sensitive, or you don't know if you're a starseed, I'm going to share a couple, some characteristics and a couple tests. So highly sensitive test is a short version. If you want to know more, you can read The Highly Sensitive Person by Elaine Aron. That's Aron, PhD. Or you can watch the movie. It's the Sensitive movie. It's on Netflix too, to help you give a better understanding. But and I also want you to know that, and like in that movie, in the Sensitive movie, they talk about animals are also, there's highly sensitive animals. And those animals, or in the animal kingdom, let's say in the animal kingdom, whatever, whether it's an ant or a dog or a bear or whatever, the sensitive ones are the ones that can keep the species alive and growing or progressing. They're the ones that remember where the water is, if they need water, or the food is, or how they came, or how to get out. They're intuitive. They pay attention. One of the characteristics of being highly sensitive is that you have an acute awareness of your environment through your senses that most others don't experience. So you have to realize that a lot of the population right now that is not sensitive. So maybe 30% of the population is sensitive. And so that's 1.5 or 6 billion. But so the rest of that 7 billion, or under 7 billion, little under 7 billion, they're not sensitive. They're not paying attention to this stuff, and we are. And so you're very conscientious about that, and all your senses. So when people don't understand you, this is why they don't understand you, because they don't pay attention to that. So it's not your, they don't get it. They don't get us because they don't have these characteristics. So here, the test was, one of that is you have an acute awareness of your environment. You have a rich inner, complex inner life. So very creative inwardly, and you can create something. And one of the things that I always like to say, or that people, sensitives, get, is like in 1 minute we can be like, so let's say COVID comes, right? COVID's here. And so we in a few seconds can take it from COVID to like we're dead. Or if somebody doesn't call back, right? Or something, we make a story and something's happened, and boom, it's like to the extreme. And then we're also at the other extreme, where it's like, oh, this happens, and then we live happily ever after, and oh, I'm so in love. And of course I'm simplifying this, so it's not as simple as that, but that does, we can go there, and we can go there quick on that in any area. And that's sometimes what gets us in trouble, because our mind is so our mind, our inner world, and our deep processing is so complex that a lot of times it's our thinking, our processing, that overwhelms us, that exhausts us, because we're looking at things in so many different ways, and then connecting them to other things, depending on how you work. I can just speak from my and what other people that I've worked with, their experience. But so that is one of the things that we have to watch, and particularly when there's something new that comes up, and we're very interested in researching it. We're interested in knowing more. We want to know things in order to be our best, because we don't like to make mistakes. So we have a strong intuition too. So our intuition draws us to different areas, draws us to answers, draws us to people, places, events that we need to pay attention to. We are deeply moved by people or culture, animals, and experiences in nature. Sensitives take on other people's feelings and know how to help them meet their needs because we're empathic, but we don't want to do that, so we're taking on their feelings. That's something I can teach you, how to not feel it, but not take it on. You find it unpleasant to have a lot going on around you or on your plate at one time. As a child, you were called too emotional or shy. You need to have private time during your day. You have a certain amount of energy that you can put out, and then you need to have time to come back to yourself and align yourself and ground yourself, so you don't get stressed out. And we're usually very sensitive to caffeine. The starseeds, here's 7 signs that you're a starseed. Earth does not feel like home. You are highly sensitive. You have been cast as the black sheep in the family. You have a specific kind of intelligence, knowing. You are drawn to exploring alternative lifestyles. You are drawn to cutting edge spirituality. You are a manifester of unity consciousness. So those are if you relate to those, then you're a starseed, and the first ones were the highly sensitive. So again, right now, we're getting overwhelmed, overstimulated. We are stressed out. We're shutting down, going dumb and numb. We're so energetic that we're feeling what's happening in the cosmos. We're feeling what's happening to Mother Earth. You might not feel all these things that I'm just saying. There's certain things you might be specific to, and then some of you are, feeling it all, and you're also sensitive to the energies of the collective conscious. So you're feeling the fears, the anxiety, all of those things that the chaos, the stress, the depression, all of the things that are happening right now, you are in tune with, and you're thinking it's you. If some of you are not aware that you're doing this, you're thinking it's you and it's not you. And again, I want you to know that you are not alone. There are a lot of us, and I'd like to have some conversations with you to help you get through this. So one of the things that I can say is if you would go to my YouTube site at Marilyn O'Malley and sign up there, subscribe to it, and put the announcement thing on so that when I put something out, an announcement out, you'll get it, because I would like to start having live YouTube so we can have some conversations, or I might even create a Zoom call or something so we can talk to each other in order to share, because I find that that's very, very helpful. And particularly when there's a lot going on and you feel like you're going crazy, and when the majority of people around you, again, don't have the skills and superpowers, I call them your superpowers, that you have, but if you're not managing them right, then they become your kryptonite. So here's kryptonite. Kryptonite for sensitives and starseeds: overstimulation. So watching too many videos, doing too much stuff, having too much information come in at one time, criticism, empathy without boundaries, violent movies and news, clutter, chaos, no boundaries, energy vampires, narcissists, codependent relationships, perfectionism, peer pressure, drugs, alcohol, caffeine, and often we're overthinking too much. So I just want to set up that you can see if this is something you want to do. Let me know. Reply to this video, comment on this video, share this videos with others, and until we meet again, love, live, and matter, and know you are not alone, and we're going to get through this together. All right. Love you. Bye.